It might be me too, because I'm watching the stream, or at least I have it up just to
Just to bump.
watch it.
Yeah.
Well, one, just to bump, and two, I mean, like, if I notice that something's down, then I can like tell you, and then you'd know. So.
Yep, that's very good. See, I tried to do a little thing here because it was like last minute. I don't know. See, because if I stretch, then it'll whoop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that, but without starting off with anything like too drastic until if anyone shows up. I do have the wonderful news. I don't know if you noticed. I put a little GIF in the werewolf channel.
You did.
I did, and I now have a werewolf.
Ooh, what are you playing?
Lincoln Hale, a Hamid. Let's see if I can get this right. Galliard.
Okay.
All
right.
Fianna.
Oh yeah.
And Hamid, Galliard, Fianna. Those are the three. And he's gonna be like a he's the thing I think I've spoken with you in the past about this idea I had for like a storyteller vampire cowboy dude who just walked around in the desert and in the forest and
yes.
shit.
Yeah.
He's kind of that basically.
Okay.
So just like, but he's gotten a guitar, and the idea came up. Cold and I were playing Fall Guys last night, and
okay, yeah.
And we were listening to an old friend of mine, Norwegian guy called Skoog, who does like, he role plays in Red Dead 2. He plays like single player games, but then he takes breaks from the games and then he does concerts. So he plays his guitar and he sings, and he has this really great, rough, like Western type thing going. So I basically just asked him, because he then records them, he clips them out and puts them on YouTube. So I was like, can I take these, base a character on them, and then just kind of use your voice as my character singing voice? He was like, yeah, man, go for it. Go for it.
I cannot fucking wait for this bullshit. It's gonna be amazing.
It is so good. The first thing I checked out on his YouTube was his own rendition of Old Town Road.
I fucking hate you so much, and I cannot wait. I absolutely cannot wait.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a shit show, and it's amazing.
It is. And at some point, people are gonna be like, in a live game, like, okay, well, now you're gonna have to sing. It's like, okay, wait a minute, let me find a link. Mm-hmm. See, this is totally me. Mm-hmm. This is definitely.
Yeah, no. Galliard is a really good idea for that. I mean, like, I think that's gonna be fucking hysterical.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
It was either gonna be that, like, it depending on how you play him. Galliard would be cool. Ragabast would just be hysterical because they're tricksters. But I don't want to I don't want to like go too much into it because I know we're kind of waiting for people to be like, "Hey, what's this talk about? What's this game about?" But oh boy,
yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I was just like, Cole was like, okay, well, what are your thoughts on this guy? Like, who is he? And I was like, yeah, I mean, he's this and that, and he does so and so. And he was like, okay, well, that sounds Galliard to me. And he was like, he explained a little bit, you know, the whole storytelling aspect. And I was like, yep, that's definitely good. And then we went down to the, what are they called? Where I picked Fianna.
Okay, yeah.
And he went through a few of those. And initially, I almost picked... what are they called? Something with you,
Uktena,
yeah. Because I like the idea of like spiritualism in them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we ended up going Fianna because I was just like, I was looking at powers. I was like, this is fucking hilarious. This is great. This is what I like.
Fianna are great. I like Fianna. Very interesting kind of ideal for werewolf as a whole. But yeah, like it's I can't actually wait to meet him. Mitch is not long for the world, so I have to start building a new one, and I don't know what I'm gonna make yet. But
you're gonna kill off another big boy on the server?
I'm not gonna kill him off. He's just okay. His story is done, just like Jack's. Like his story is done. So.
Yeah. His didn't last as long, right? How long have you had Mitch?
Months and months. Oh God. 6 months, 8 months, something like that. Like it's been a while. He is the second or third longest running werewolf, because I know Colt with Chi-Chi kind of came first, and then I brought
Oh,
Mitch
yeah.
into it afterwards. I know
Yeah.
Oystein was like the first of the first. Well, technically Khalid was the first of the first, but he's still
Yeah.
kicking around. Which I don't know if you know. I spent the last, I don't know, a week ago. I spent 2 nights, because insomnia is a thing. I spent 2 nights dedicating myself to changing the Black Spiral gifts over to the system that we use.
Ooh.
So now Khalid actually has werewolf gifts.
Oh my god! I thought he was gone. I thought that with the whole doppelganger plot, he was kind of like mushed aside. Like it was part of what people were like kind of done with.
I did too. I think they were done with terrible, horrible, I'm gonna murder everything and everyone Khalid.
Yeah.
Which I understand. Like, I love him and I love playing him
He was
as
great.
that fucking terribleness. But then, just out of the blue, and I don't know how it happened, but Dave was just like, oh yeah, Khalid kind of likes this Nosferatu. And I was like, no, I can see it. Like, I'm cool with it. Like,
yeah.
all right. And so I kind of just went along with that for a little bit, and then I completely had forgotten, because it had been so long, how much fun it is playing him, even in like the smallest, tiniest amount.
Yes.
Yes. Good. And so I brought him back just for a little bit, just as a kind of an NPC that's kind of just hanging around. And then Vargas came back because of, timeline shit. And I was just like, well, of course he's back, but how am I going to change him? And I thought really long and hard of being like, I don't know if I want him back. I don't know if, like, that's a thing. And the more I thought about it, the more reasons I could not give myself to be like, nah, he shouldn't be back. It's just like, well, if this person is back and if this person is back, he's probably back. But how has he changed?
Yeah.
Hence he'll still fucking kill everything. He's still a spiral. He is still crazy.
Yeah.
But he's a lot more contained because he's got his people with him.
Yeah. So he's basically held in check by the fact that everyone didn't suddenly die around him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's very much how. That's the reasoning, and I didn't do it beforehand, and I kind of wish I did. I kind of wish I would have like made that a point of why he is this way, because like his pack is no longer there.
Yeah.
But I did it with kind of the redo where, they saw him in the flesh again, and he was just like, I don't know what you are talking about. It is everyone here. I do not want to fight you, but I will if I have to. Yes. I will destroy everything around you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so people were like, wait, hold up, wait, what?
That
Why?
happened. Did that not happen in the same game, the same timey-wimey game? That Francis got to go back? Yeah.
Yep. It was the same thing. He showed up with the mute lupine and was just like, I don't want to fight anybody. I will though.
Yeah.
I'll kill every single one of you. But I don't want to right now because like we're here not to be terrible. Let's not do this.
Yeah.
And so now he's kind of put into a few situations, but for the most part, he's kind of in Long Beach at this point with Vargas and with all of them. He shows up every once in a while. People call him. People just called him the other day because Anol got fucking taken again. And he was just like, well, time to do some heathen shit.
All right. Let me see. I'm going to redo the link in there. Let's see if people...
I was about to hit everybody with it too. Well, you're going to post and I'm going to do the same thing that I did yesterday where it's just like, everybody.
Come talk. There we go. Yeah, because we had our little thing, a little almost got going plot with Ghost Khalid, Wraith Francis.
Yeah.
But I haven't, as you know, I haven't been doing written stuff for
a while.
We're getting up to 4 months.
4 or 5 months?
Yeah. where it really kind of, I think it just got too big for me. Like all of a sudden you had like fucking 70 people just writing in the fucking server, and that just, I kind of lost track of it all, because then you have some groups here, you have some groups there, and it became very much too much for me, I think. And then after Francis died, I got Wraith Francis, but he was the only Wraith for a long time.
Yeah.
And I only really like his only real reason for being there was, oh, hello everyone. His only real reason for being there was to discomfort Jax.
Yeah.
And Maeve and Addie.
And Addie, yeah.
And that was like kind of it. And of course, I mean, I can say that now because I mean, probably not gonna be happening, but you know, to turn Paisley darkside.
Right.
Which was his big ultimate goal that never really came about. But yeah, I see we got some people rolling in here. We got El Mechio, which I recognize as being someone, but I can't remember the name. It is wait, who is it? I thought I knew who it was.
Wow.
Look, I am terrible with usernames. You give me a character name and I know exactly who it is.
It's Sam, the fucking mage.
Wait, what? Sam the mage?
El Mechior is a mage. It's Sam Morgan. He's a mage. He only plays a mage.
Okay, now, yeah, that's why I don't recognize them, because I don't play mage, because mages are terrible.
Listen, okay, mages are terrible, but you can do some utter fuck shit, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that is very true.
Also, hey Max, I know you're listening. Soon, buddy, soon. He's gonna show up. He's gonna fucking show up. And I'm just saying, when he shows up, I cannot wait. He might show up tonight. Who knows? I don't know how froggy I'm feeling.
Wait. Who is... Okay, so I assume Max is Sam.
Yeah, Max is the dude himself.
The dude himself. As we have Soren, BB, Waves, and Nosferatu. I want to say Anoli, but I also don't really know names anymore. I see Lean as well. I mean, Soren is like fighting words. Dude, I mean, I'm not gonna... I've seen... No, wait, he's gone, isn't he?
Who, Desmond?
Yeah.
Sorta, kinda.
Okay, no, I won't fight you. I'll still die. I know that. I'm as terrible. I imagine I'd be as terrible in PvP in this game as I am in fucking computer games.
Also, BB, 2010-92. Hi, Cass. How you doing? You good? How was being like handcuffed to a radiator the other night? Was it good? It was good, right? No one here is going to understand what the fuck I'm talking about, other than the people here, including you.
It's all just terrible things from a great place.
Yeah, no, it's a whole thing. So, what I mean by being tied to a radiator.
I mean, are you sure you want to context that?
You know what, I don't.
Yeah, because I feel like no context is like the prime.
There's no context needed. Just know that it was a fun time that you were tied up to a radiator, and you know, things happen. It's fine.
Yeah, winks and satyr. That's very true.
Winks and satyr. Arato, you beautiful fucking satyr. Jesus.
So today a few days ago, I was given the opportunity by some lovely people to showcase their game. We'll get to that in a little bit. We can't show too much. We have like what amounts to about 10 minutes playtime. I might have stretched it a little bit, like 30 seconds. But before we get to that, the game, by the way, is Werewolf the Apocalypse: Heart of the Forest. It is a visual novel set in, of course, Werewolf the Apocalypse, and I mean, we'll get into like the setup of characters. You have a character sheet in it that we will be looking at. We'll get a little bit more into that later, because I think you'll do much better at recognizing if this is more tied to an older version, or if we are getting an idea of what Werewolf 5 might become. So first of all, to those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Danny. I play with most of, if not all of you lovely people on the B-Dave Walter server, mainly as Francis Byrne, the ever terrible vampire, but also sneaking in a werewolf now, which Kyle is probably going to teach me a little bit more about than I already know, which is not a lot. A guy called Lincoln Hale, who will be playing a lot of guitar out in the forests. Cold Savage Kodak will be murdering me for using that accent because he fucking hates it. But you know what? It'll be what it'll be. Tribe, yeah, sure. I'll start with Tribe. But first, with me is the ever lovely Kyle, the mythic rogue. You know him as Terrible, Terrible Boy Jax, Good Boy Mitch. Khalid, you know him as a host of NPCs. You probably you have a mage as well, right?
I've got a few of them technically. I've got a few. So I've got Oliver, who is the Death Boy. I've got Alexander, who is my boom mage. Let's see. Adam. I have Adam, who is my NWO Technocrat, which is amazing.
Technocrat, yes. Agent 47?
Agent 42.
42.
42. Who actually, funnily enough, is a fucking pile of molten slag right now. So it's pretty interesting. He had to do a thing, and he did it to himself. I'm not even gonna lie. Part of a big storyline. But yeah, no, he's gonna be out of commission for, I don't know, probably a few days.
That sounds lovely. All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so yeah, sure, we can start with the werewolf I made. I made him last night. His name is Lincoln Hale. He is a Homid, and his auspice is Galliard. That's the one, right? And
Yep.
his other thing that I do. Oh my God!
Holy shit!
Thank you so very, very much, BB. You five are now 5 of the very first subs I've ever had. My first was cold, so that is very nice. Thank you. I'm not a sobby boy usually, but that means a whole ass lot. Yes, thank you. Auspice, Galliard. And then the other thing that I don't remember the name of was Fianna. And what is
his
that?
Tribe.
His tribe is Fianna. Okay. So why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about what I've made?
All right. So, werewolves, or the Garu, as they like to call themselves, are... Here's the thing about werewolf when you start talking about it. It's hard to pin down kind of where to start because there's a shit ton of lore.
Mm-hmm.
In a very simplificated nature, right? If I were to boil down lupines to a highly specified, completely oversimplified thing, they are, without a doubt, eco-terrorist zealots. Kind of what they are. Right?
Okay.
They are the fangs and claws of Gaia, of Earth itself. Earth itself is kind of like the moon, Luna, and Helios, the sun, is a Celestine spirit. It has an actual spirit in the Umbra. If you kill the spirit in the Umbra, which you can't because it's a fucking Celestine, but if for whatever reason you could do it, you would literally destroy the thing that it's named off of.
Okay.
The Garu are Earth's immune system. It's what they're there for. They are there to make sure that it keeps spinning and the world still turns, and for most of the Earth's timeline, it kind of sort of worked. And then the humans happened.
Yeah.
So back in the day, and this is where it gets a little in the weeds, and we're probably going to get into the weeds a little bit. back in the day, per Geru lore, they basically ruled over the humans. They were the top things. They were the top alpha predators.
Yeah.
Which is why the delirium is still a thing. Werewolves, like anything in World of Darkness, very much it worked until it didn't. Yeah. Werewolves, because it is a World of Darkness game and because they are supernaturals, the whole aspect of World of Darkness is you are in the world as we know it now, right? So it's 2020. If you played a game, if you started a new game, you could say it is, what is it, the 7th? Yeah, you could say it's the 7th of 2020 in what, July, August, May, whatever. August, thank you.
Yeah, it's 2020. Let's be real.
It's 2020, and everything just runs together now. So you could start a game and be like, it is August 7th, 2020, and everything would track. Like, the things that are happening now are the things that are happening in game. 2020 is a century. Yeah. Everything that's happening now, you can happen in game. You can use that to your advantage. It is what it is. Back in the day, right? Well, it's 2020. They are supernatural creatures. How do humans not know? Well, in the V5 timeline, they kind of do know, but whatever. It's a very small kind of subsect of humans that do know. But for the majority, they don't know because of a thing called the delirium. Vampires have their masquerade, which is, as everyone knows, the set of rules that basically say don't tell people what you are. Don't let them know, vampires playing humans pretending to be vampires kind of thing. Mages have consensus, which kind of, unless you're Sabbat, in which case. But here's the thing, right? And I won't go off on this tangent. Even the Sabbat, as much as they talk about not caring about the masquerade, they kind of care about the masquerade.
Speak for yourself. I know someone who doesn't give a fuck.
Right. Well, for the most part, they don't. Like, it is very much one of those. Man, fuck the masquerade. All right, cool. So why are there no Zulos walking around Atlanta right now, being like, fuck the masquerade? Right? It doesn't fucking happen.
Yeah, it's also the smarter thing to stay alive.
It is. Well, it is the smarter thing.
Around
undead, right? So vampires have that masquerade. Mages have consensus, which kind of is the universe making sure that they don't do anything stupid, and if they do something stupid, Jiminy Cricket with a chainsaw comes in. Changelings have the mists, which is literally like Fey Glamour and Fey Mine, which if you do a thing, the mists will basically make you rationalize it. You see this thing happening, the mists will come in and they'll just be like, that was a weird thing that happened. Cool. Werewolves are a little bit different because they look human for the most part. Like, they can look human. There is no werewolf gene. If they go to a doctor and they get blood drawn, nothing's gonna pop up. Like, there is nothing different about their DNA.
It's all a magical kind of thing.
It is very much it's a spiritual kind of thing.
Yeah, spiritual,
because they are beings of spirit.
We're already having fights among the vampires.
Oh yeah, we're already having fights. I mean, that's just
the tower is right.
Yeah, the tower is right. Get the fuck out of here. Because werewolves have lupines have 5 different forms they can transform. They are shapeshifters. Hamid, and we're going to go back to you. Hamid is this. It's this flesh sack that we are in right now. It is what you normally look like. They are humans. They go about their human lives, is what it is. Galbro is, that old 60s Wolfman movies where you have a little bit higher brow ridge and you kind of still look human, but just like more Neanderthal kind of look. Yep. It's a little bit more powerful. but it's not full werewolf.
No, it's
You have
not
Hispo,
underworld.
right? You have Hispo, which is direwolf, and if anyone has watched Game of Thrones, you know what a direwolf is. It's just this
Or
massive
Twilight.
wolf. Or Twilight. Those are werewolves. I don't care what you say. Those aren't werewolves. Don't at me.
I mean, there are no vampires in those movies either. So
That's true. There are no vampires, unless they were Thin Bloods. But even that, maybe Thin Bloods with like discipline, affinity, presence.
So now
maybe.
I know what my next vampire character is. Thank you, Kyle. Sparkling thin blood. Named Eddie. There we go.
I'll kick you from the server. I'll kick you from the server. I don't know what happened to Danny. I have absolutely no idea. Danny never existed. He was a figment of all of our imagination.
They who? Francis? No.
Yeah, who? Who?
It's like going from one extreme to the other. I like it.
Incredibly. But Hispo is, direwolf form, just this big, massive, prehistoric werewolf. And Lupus is, of course, it's a wolf. It's just a little pork wolf kind of thing. Now, when you think of werewolves, like you said, you think of underworld, massive creatures bursting out of skin, has the muzzle and the ears and the just pure...
Yeah.
That's Krynos. That is their war form. That is when they are the most deadly. To the point where, like, even elder vampires are just like, yeah, but how about we don't do anything?
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between and neither. Don't try to face tank a werewolf. It's never going to work.
I don't know if Deadpool's in, but...
Just don't.
Yeah. It's a bad idea. I mean, I think even with my lacking knowledge of werewolves, lacking knowledge of everything, really, but even with that, I always knew that I think fighting a werewolf as a vampire is never a good idea. Like, I don't even think, even like if we take like the Underworld movies, even in that, you still have the concept of like vampires. I mean, sure, they have, what's her name, Selena, who's like this super badass who can almost kind of do it, but is still fucking running away while she's doing it. So yeah, it's fitting, I feel like.
It's very much that thing where there are only, really and truly, even in lore, there's only a few kindred that have ever like faced tank a lupine and survived. Nines is one of them, and it's already been proven that A, it was a young lupine, it wasn't an elder or anything, and B, he just out-staminaed him because he was fucking undead and he didn't run out of breath and he didn't run out of he just waited.
Yeah,
he just waited him out. He basically rope-a-doped him, did what he did to get him to get tired, and then he was just like, cool, my turn.
Yep, he played it smart, basically.
He played it smart. The Zulo form of the Zamichi are literally built to take on lupines because,
really?
I mean, the Zamichi as a clan had to deal with lupines in the Carpathian Mountains. That's why they created it in the first place.
Huh.
They created the Zulos to fight like Shadow Lords because the Shadow Lords were trying to take over, and they were like, just like, nah, these are our mountains. This is our kind of get off my lawn. And with their flesh crafting and codonic sorcery, they created the Zulo form. So when they did turn into Krynos, they were like, okay, yeah, cool. I got you.
But
also, there's a lot of even the Zamichi are, if there's like one or two, if there's one in a Zulo, they'll probably be like, I'll fight until I'll probably get my ass kicked and then I'll duck out. If there's like a pack of lupines, even the Zamichi are just like, cool. Yeah. Bye.
Peace.
That's what Krynos is. Krynos is like when they are at their most powerful, when they are at their most deadly. And this is where the delirium comes in. Because back in the day, far back in history, because the werewolves were the rulers of humanity, all humans have a genetic memory, I guess you could call it, of that fear. So when a lupine goes into Krynos, the delirium takes over, and depending, at least in the old systems, I'm not really sure how they're going to do it in the new system. I kind of hope they keep it, because it is a very big thing. But you basically made a willpower check, and depending on what you rolled, it was either run away, this never happened, it was a bear, fuck this, I'm out, peace, to you just pass out. You just instantly just...
Makes sense. Yeah.
I love how everyone took over B-Dave's. Cool. Okay.
Okay. But B-Dave took that away from Community, I'm sure.
He did take that.
Cool.
He did.
Cool.
This is fine.
Cool.
This is fine. Everything's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine.
But it's fine. It'll be all right.
The most perfect thing that man has ever said on stream ever. This is fine.
Yeah.
It's not fine. It's terrible, but it's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that it just became a GIF, and I still enjoy using from time to time. Yeah.
Love it.
All right.
So they have the delirium, which makes people not believe that werewolves are real. Yay. Werewolves kind of like, and I'm going to keep using the like kindred kind of terminology, because it's a massive resurgence of World of Darkness. There's a lot of people playing vampire, and it's easy to like tie them one to one, right? So tribes are like clans. You have a tribe of werewolves that have their own culture and their own ideals and their own way of doing things. And I'll preface this with a little asterisk. If you want to know about werewolf, go get the books.
Yeah.
Like, get W20. It is a fantastic book. It is... If you looked at Vampire, the 5th edition, and I'm going to have to, like, mince this. If you looked at the 5th edition book of Vampire, and you're just like, I'm never reading anything ever again, Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th edition does not read the same way. It's written in a story. Like, the first 10 pages of the werewolf book is a comic explaining how they became werewolves. Like, and everything else in that book, instead of written like, here's how this works, and then you go to page 323 to figure out how it actually works, and then you get to page 323 and it tells you to fuck off.
Yeah.
That's not how W20 kind of works as a system. It is very much written as a story, and I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Also, get the tribe books. Now. Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th anniversary was written in the 90s. So take that with a grain of salt when you pick up some of these books.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't pick them up. I'm telling you, just be aware that they were written in the 90s, and as a 2020 version of everybody, there's some shit in a lot of the tribe books that you're gonna go, oh god, why? I'm looking at you, Wendigo, Uktena, Fianna, maybe a little bit of the Black Furies. You kind of had a thing with the Black Fury. You were this close. You weren't as bad as you could have been, but you were this close, and then you fucked it up.
Yeah.
But with that asterisk, I will say, pick up those books. Just please pick up those books. Those books are fantastic. They're written as a story. They have the mechanics to them because it is a game, but they are written in a very way that you could probably actually just sit down and read that book and be like, oh no, this makes sense in the storytelling aspect.
Yeah.
So you have tribes. You have 12 to 13 tribes, depending on how they do it in W20, because the Stargazers went to Beast Court. I don't know if they're going to keep that, but maybe they will. Yes, the Get a Fenris tribe book is interesting to say the least. It is very much one of those where you look at it and you're like, boy, this was written in the 90s, guys. Oh.
But that's something whenever you go back to the 90s for anything.
It is.
Right now, it's basically like you're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Oh boy, were we that bad?
Oh, yeah. Are we the baddies?
Yes. And the answer is yes, we were terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, while you go on, I'll just quickly switch here because when we do start looking at the game, I want to be able to have your camera on, and I'll need to fix that. Cool.
Ooh, that actually looks really good.
There we go. See,
that looks
put you. Oh wait, no, I can't put you down there because that will. I'll put you up here. There we go. That should work because I know that most of it happens over here. And then, perfect. There we go. Now, that was easier than I thought it would be.
That was easy. Button. You have 12 tribes, 13 if they keep. Because I don't know if they're going to do the Beast Court. Because I highly doubt they're going to bring back the Kuei-Jin in V5. Because again, that was
not great.
A whole ass thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to bring in the Beast Court. If they do, Stargazers are probably going to be a part of it. But 12 to 13. A Paisley
has arrived. Welcome.
Everybody just want to all hail Paisley.
Yes. Do all hail Paisley.
The Malkavian antediluvian, and no one can fucking say that she's not.
Yes. And also, if you're not aware, you won't be aware because no one knows, but I just received something from Meg. I am part of her Patreon, and if you like amazing stuff like this, and these stickeroos, you should go check it out. Also, Paisley, Megan, thank you for helping with getting this done.
Hey, there he is, the boy.
And now that we have made her hide.
Also, she also has a Redbubble where she puts amazing works of art that you can buy, like this mug that I'm drinking out of right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
that one.
She did this amazing art for Caroline, who is a very good friend of both of ours, for her vampire character. She has the, of course, Sad Bats cup as well because I drink a lot of coffee.
The Sad Bats cup.
But yes, it is amazing. I need to get that Redbubble actually to put in.
Yes, please. See, I would do it right now, but my issue is that because I'm an idiot, I couldn't figure out how to just capture a conversation. There it is. I couldn't figure out to capture a conversation on Discord, so I had to just do like full screen.
No, that's fine.
Full screen Kyle. It's more than fine. Why can't I figure out hands on cameras? Okay. Either way, yes. Megan is amazing. Welcome.
Megan is amazing. Megan is amazing. She is the Malkavian antediluvian in real life and also in our game, and she is perfect. And you need to buy all of her shit. That was a shameless. It's not even shame. No. Like it's a shameless plug. Like I don't care. I will throw everyone at Megan. Werewolves have tribes. Yeah, werewolves have tribes just like vampires have clans. There are 12 to 13, depending on what you are. You, good sir, are going to play a Fianna. Fianna are Celtic in lore. They are very much, Celtic, Western European, Irish, Scottish, all of that. All lupines are massive death machines of death. It's just what they are, right? The Fianna are known amongst the nation as a whole because of, yes, their ferocity in battle. They're all ferocious when they fight. But they're like storytellers, and they keep the lore of the nation itself, and they're musicians, and they're great. They're not my favorite tribe, but they're up there.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they're not evil enough to be your favorite tribe.
Actually, see, here's the thing, right? Can't even say that, like, no tribes of Geru are evil, because they are. They're kind of all assholes. Um, but like most of them, most of the tribes, even like the Shadow Lords and even the Red Talons aren't evil per se. They're just stuck in their ways.
That's a terrible defense.
Yeah, it's a terrible defense, and like that's the thing that you have to understand is, again, when I say that if you boil lupines down to their base structure and a very oversimplification, they're eco-terrorist zealots. That's what they are. They are not good people. They try, like their ideals are good. It's just the execution is kind of asshole-ish.
It's the thing with like, no matter what you believe in, no matter how good it is, if you become an extremist, you'll probably fuck it up. Like,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you can believe in something, even if that thing is right. If you become too extreme, not so good.
Yeah, not so much. I mean, the same as if you oversimplify mages, they are people who believe in something so hard it alters reality to the fundamental level. Yeah, it's very much it. It's if you believe in something so strongly, you're going to become an asshole about it.
Yeah.
The lupines are very much like, Gaia is dying, and I will do literally anything to stop that from happening, even if it means blowing up this building and killing 40,000 people. I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's just the thing. So Fianna are very much, keepers of music, stories, lore masters. They are Celtic. They're really cool, but I like werewolves, so I'm kind of biased. But I'll probably say that with every tribe, where they're just like, they're so cool, guys. I love them. They're all good dogs, Brent.
In TTRPGs, you can pet the dog.
Yeah. Hamid means that you were born of a werewolf and a human. Now, here's where it gets a little bit interesting. If you get bitten by a werewolf, you'll die. That's just it. There is no, like, I bite you and then you change in the next full moon. You're tied to the moon, but you're not tied to the moon. If we're going Underworld, because a lot of people like that movie, because I like that movie, they are more lycans than werewolves, right? World of Darkness in a nutshell. Everyone's an asshole. Yeah, no, 100%.
Basically.
You are tied to the moon, which is where your auspice comes in, right? Your auspice is how you do things within the system and the hierarchical structure of Geru society as a whole. While, yes, you can have a flaw that makes you transform into Krynos, in the full moon. You don't have to. Like, it's not a thing that you have to do.
Someone might have a flaw like that.
I have a flaw like that.
I have a similar flaw.
I think everyone on the B-Dave server that plays a werewolf, other than like 3 people, have that flaw.
Mine is a little bit more physical.
Yeah.
It's the great way of writing myself away from having to do with radiography.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair. So the auspice being tied to the moon kind of dedicates how you do things. I actually have to look this up because you're a Galliard, right?
Yes.
Let's find out, because I forgot what's phase of the moon. The gibbous. That's it. All right, cool. Yep. You are represented by the gibbous moon, which means that you sing the songs and the souls of the nation. You are part of the group that make sure that everyone knows the renown and the greatness of these massive warriors for Gaia. Without you guys, it's not the moon that forces the change. No, it's not. He just fucking changes. But because all lupines are based around renown and honor and glory, because they are a very, like, fighting culture, it's up to you guys, the Galliards, to let everyone know. And if one of your pack does something fantastic and brings down an incarnate of the worm, you're the one that's just like, I'm gonna make this a song and let everybody fucking know it. It's kind of what they do. Mitch, my bestest boy, is a Wendigo, like the old story of the Wendigo. That guy, that's his tribe. He is a rune, which is he was born under a full moon, which means that he has a lot of rage, because all werewolves are rage-filled death machines. He's got a lot of rage. He is a fighter in every sense of the word. That's what he is. Because of that, Arunes are very much the punchy boys of a punchy boy society.
So while my guy is singing up on the stage, Mitch is over in the bar smashing bottles into faces.
Pretty much, yeah. Like if we're gonna, that's a really good representation. A Galliard is on stage singing about the Arune over there breaking pool sticks over that dude's face, while the Ragabash is sitting over there who started everything because they're fucking tricksters and that's what they do. And the Theurge is over in the corner smoking, wondering how the hell all of this fucking happened and what is wrong with people. It's amazing. And then the Philodox, or the Philodox, are very much the one trying to get in between the Arune and the dude's face he's trying to break, to be like, wait, hold on, wait. Why are you doing this? Because he said some shit to you and you didn't like it? Cool. Could you not? No, because why? Because that dude's a fucking asshole and he's part of the worm? Cool, kill him. Literally, that's what a Philodox is. They're counselors. So if Galliards are the singers and the lore keepers, basically, Theurges are the spiritual guidance, and they're the ones that are very much attuned to the spirits in which you communicate with and get your powers from. Arunes are punchy boys, Ragabashes are tricksters, and then Philodoxes are counselors and mediators. Those are the auspices, and they are all tied directly to the phases of the moon. So even though you don't have to be tied to Luna herself, you kind of are.
Yeah, you just are automatically.
Yep.
Yeah.
To Kyle calling someone a fucking asshole.
Caroline.
This is on brand.
Yep.
Hi, Caroline.
Thank you for popping by. Okay. So basically, depending on which moon you were born under, that kind of decides your demeanor, in a sense, and then like your path in life, and then
mechanically. Go ahead.
Oh, then I was gonna say, and then your tribe is more like that's like your genealogy.
Yeah. So your auspice, your breed is how you look, what you are. Hamid, Metis, or Lupus, which I'll get into in a minute because that's a whole ass thing. Auspice is like how you go through life, what you do within the tribe as a whole, in the society in which you are. Tribe is, your people, your culture, why you do the things that you do. A Fianna, even though we're all werewolves, even though we're all Garou, a Fianna is not going to have the same history and life choices and ideals that a Shadow Lord does, or a Red Talon does, or a Wendigo does. They are all protectors of Gaia. They are all the fangs and teeth of the world. But how you go about doing the whole saving the world thing is different from tribe to tribe.
And then pack, I assume, is kind of like coterie?
Yeah, a pack is basically, the Garou version of a coterie. It is when, a bunch of Garou get together and just do things. For the most part, your pack is pretty much a lot of the same tribes. Most Wendigos stay together, most Uktena stay together, most Shadow Lords stay together because, like in real life, we have the same ideals. Therefore, we're going to stick around each other. Werewolves, as a whole, always believe that each tribe is the best tribe.
Yeah, I mean that's very 90s.
It's very 90s. We are the best tribes. Hell, it's very like now too.
Yeah, kinda.
I'm the best at doing this. Yeah, but are you though? Yes, I am, and I have the claws to back it up. You right though?
Yeah.
Your breed though is interesting, right? So your auspice is tied directly to, the moon cycle, and that tells you kind of how you're going to do things. Your tribe is just, your culture as a self, what you were born into. Here's where, again, very 90s, gets a little weird. Werewolves cannot mate with other werewolves. They can, but it's bad. There's this thing called the litany, which is very much like the Camarilla traditions. The litany basically is the rule set set down ages ago. Basically how Geru is supposed to comport themselves, Kill the worm, make sure that Gaia survived, don't fucking eat each other, and if you do, just don't. It's a rule. Like, it's a rule. You don't fucking cannibalize each other, because apparently that was a thing that had to be said. And then, see...
I mean, you're big, you're wolfy, you're hungry, you get into a fight. I mean, why leave a meal?
See, I say that, right, where I'm just like, apparently that needs to be said, and then I realize that I'm the dude playing a Wendigo who was a cannibal spirit, and I'm just like, no, that makes sense.
I mean, that is what you would play.
I play a Wendigo. Don't eat each other, and if you do, don't tell anybody about it.
So, like with human beings, if you're a cannibal, don't tell anyone.
Yeah, kind of.
Keep it to yourself.
Just keep it to yourself. Respect your elders. Respect those who are of a higher rank. And, like, this isn't a PG stream, right?
No, this is listed as 18 plus, so go ahead.
Cool. Don't fuck each other. It's literally a rule in the litany is two werewolves should not bone whatsoever, because that's how you get metis.
Oh, yes.
You get metis once because two metises can bone all the fucking time, and it doesn't matter because they're sterile. But it is literally the rule that all werewolves break. It is the one rule of the litany that people are just like, but what if I did, though?
That's all the private DMing roleplay that goes on.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. Okay, listen. We're all thirsty fuckers in this chat, okay?
It's very true. Very true. I am a thirsty boy.
We are all thirsty fucking people. Yes, jesters and magic fae babies. You're right. But see, I'm reading chat and I'm just like, they're not wrong.
Actually, I forgot to put this up on Twitter, but like I want to say almost a week ago, I was playing Persona 5, the Royal. And are you familiar with Persona 5?
I am, yeah.
So you know Morgana?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Lean basically compared Morgana to you. with this was when Morgana first saw Lady Anne.
No, that tracks. Yeah, I know that tracks.
Stars in the eyes.
That tracks.
Lady Anne.
It me.
It you. It Cat Kyle.
It me. So werewolves cannot mate with other werewolves. You get metis, which is a whole ass thing. But that Tish breeds the question: how do werewolves become werewolves? Right? If there's no werewolf gene, how does it work? Well, you mate with humans. you have people called kinfolk who are literally, that's what they are. They are the kin of the werewolf. They will never change. They never have the, um, no matter what they're born under, they just won't ever switch. That rage doesn't hit. They might have a little bit of powers, very much, and I hate saying this because it's not true, but again, we're oversimplifying things. It's very much like a ghoul. You are not a true kindred as a ghoul, as a kinfolk. You are not a true werewolf, but you have some of the powers. Very little kind of, heightened strength, heightened awareness, but you'll never change. You'll never, rip out of your skin and kill your cousin when they try to do something when you're 13. Not that I'm saying that from experience.
Okay.
Or am I? I'm not. Don't I'm already on enough lists. Don't. But they will never change. They have a small spark of the werewolf in them, but it'll never fully arrive. And again, that's because of years and years and years and years and years of kind of the lupines through the Imperium, which is the time when they kind of ruled over the humans, of just treating them just over and over to make sure that they had the numbers. So, werewolf, like a full fucking werewolf, mates with a human. You get a kid out of it because, that's how it works. You might get a kid out of it, and that kid might be another kinfolk, or, if you're lucky, might be a Hamid werewolf. Yay! They are... kid werewolves are weird. Because you are a spiritual being. Like, that's what a werewolf is. A werewolf is a being of spirit and rage.
Yeah.
As a kid, you're already a being of rage because a lot of shit is happening. Add to that the fact that you have these weird dreams and, these spirits are kind of talking to you and you're learning about all of this history while you sleep. You're going to be even more kind of on edge because of it, which, a lot of young werewolves don't really get along with people because looks at 3 kids. Facts. Kids are full of emotions and rage. There you go.
It's a fact.
A fact. So a lot of like werewolf children are very much, especially if they don't know about it, are very much like the social outcasts, and they're the ones that are always getting in trouble, and they have weird dreams and weird kind of ideals because they're just getting this influx of information from the Umbra until one day it kind of boils over and they fucking snap and they punch somebody in the face and they're in Krynos form.
Yeah.
The first change hits them usually around like 12 or 13 because you're already in that mode of I hate everything and it's terrible and what the fuck is happening? Why do I have claws? What?
Wait, what? Why am I suddenly 3 feet taller? That's weird.
Pretty much. Yeah. Why am I suddenly this much taller with this much muscle? It makes no sense. Why do I want to kill everything?
And that's where I guess the delirium comes in and is the reason that everyone isn't aware that werewolves are a thing, because I would imagine a lot of these things happen like in the schoolyard or like being chased.
I would say yeah. I would very much say. So what I'm hearing is werewolves are heavily neurodivergent kids in elementary and middle school. Yes, 100%. It's kind of what they are.
Yeah.
Which is where Hamids are, right? So you're just a regular human, quote quote, bebopping down the road, and then someone's just like, "Hey man, fuck you, ha 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 ha," and you're just like, "Nah, but fuck you."
But also, woof.
Right. You have lupus, which is literally you're born as a wolf. Take that as you will, but don't. But take that as you will. You were born as a wolf. Your first breath was taken as a wolf, fluffy tail,
little
ears,
cub.
little pup kind of thing. 4 or 5 years go by, and then your first change happens, and you're a fucking kid and have no idea what the fuck is happening because you're a wolf.
That must be. I feel like that's probably a little bit more of a strange.
Yeah, lupus is very weird. Like lupus it's a weird connotation because you're born to a wolf mom.
Yeah.
Take that as you will.
Yeah. No, we know what it means. Wait, could you not be born to a werewolf mom and like a?
I think you might. I haven't.
Can it happen that way?
It's been a while since I read that kind of section in the book, but
it's not a section you go back to a lot.
It's not really a section I go back to.
Seems strange.
Seems strange. Again, werewolf is weird, dog.
Julie, the question we were talking about is whether a lupus could be born to a werewolf mother, as in her having mated with a wolf, like a male wolf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That a female werewolf can either, kids or pups. Yeah.
I thought lupus were born wolves chosen by Gaia to become
Gaia, Garu. That might have been too. Yeah, the kid is based on what the mother is. Hamid is Hamid, Lupine is Lupus, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, so basically a lupus is a wolf mother who has mated with a werewolf male.
There you go.
Okay, fair enough.
Which would be really weird if she had a normal kids and then a litter of puppies. Again, werewolf is fucking weird, dog. Wait.
Yeah. A question though about kinfolk. They are not related to the different kins that are out there. Like we have Amelia the Ratkin on the server. There's no relation between those, right?
No, because Ratkin and all of those are changing breeds. The Garu are not the only shapeshifters in the World of Darkness. I didn't put that out there yet because that's a whole nother thing.
It's a big side thing, yeah.
It's a really big kind of all-encompassing thing.
Now is where I would pull out my book if I knew where it was, but the Wereshock book is beautiful.
It's amazing. Every changing breed has their role to play, right? Yeah. Except the Bunyip, who got fucking exterminated. And I only say it that way because I know someone is here who was just like, Bunyip! The werebats were completely wrecked.
See, I heard Bun and I thought we were going to talk about fuck, but, that's on me.
No, don't break the litany. What's wrong with you? But the changing breeds all have a role to play, right? They all just decided, all the changing breeds, all the Farah and all the Garu, when it all started, was just like, the Garu are going to be the fangs and teeth, they're going to be the warriors, go. And the Garu took that shit and fucking ran with it. Was just like, we're going to kill everything. And the rest of the changing breeds were just like, wait, you bring it down just a little bit. I see what you're going with because you're rage machines, but how about you don't? Because killing everything might be a little bit of an issue, and they're like, nah, we're gonna kill everything.
I happen to be a were-hamster. I don't want to go into war.
Yeah. So they're the warriors of Gaia. The Grawl, who I want to fucking play, because I love the Grawl, are werebears, and they are the healers. They're the healers of Gaia. They're the ones who could still fucking ruin your day because you're a were creature. And if you thought werewolves were terrible, oh boy, Grawl, when they change, is just okay, cool. They're a bear. This is the truth. It's a bear.
Regular bear bad.
Yeah.
Were bad, real fucking bad.
Real bad. You have the Kitsune, who are the were foxes. You have the Korax, which are the were ravens, who... Korax.
Yeah, no, that almost... That did get me slightly moist, I have to admit.
I like shiny objects and I want to steal things, but also I'm an information gatherer, so I'm going to stick around and listen to everything and then parrot it back to you in your voice because I can, because fuck you, that's why. Also, I like your earrings, give me.
I wonder if B-Dave would let me play that.
We've already asked. Actually, I'll say this now. I'll say this now. Everyone who is in this thing, because most of you are part of that server, if you get your shit together and figure out werewolf in the way that, like, how it's all supposed to work and everything, we might be able to play fucking changing breeds, because it's already there. We just gotta show Dave that we can do it.
That we can be not chaos machines?
That we can be not chaos machines and understand the system as a whole. So please, please.
Hello, please. Thomas. Welcome.
Hey, look, it is.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, no. Very much time. Okay, time to read the lore. Yes, please, everyone should just read the lore. Just please read the lore. Understand it. Because, I mean, I want to play a fucking Goral. Anyway.
Oh, God, we got sidetracked so bad.
Yeah, read the book! But... So you have, werewolf and a human, mate, Hamid. Mom is a lupus, mates with whatever, you get a lupus. Now, if for whatever reason, werewolf and a werewolf bang, you get a metis. Metis are the redheaded stepchildren of the werewolf community. Nobody likes them. They're a crime against humanity, even though they're not human. But you know what I mean. They're a crime. You broke the litany. It is not something that you want. They are. When you're born, it kind of dictates your true form. So if you're a human, or if you're a Hamid, you're in human form. That's just what it is. If you're a lupus, you're in wolf form. You pat around on 4 feet, and cool. When you're a metis, you are born in Krynos form. You are born in that war form, which, in a lot of ways, mean mom doesn't survive the process.
Yeah,
because, I mean. If you have claws that can already rip through anything, well...
I see the head. I feel the claws.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Rip, literally, mom.
Yeah, rip mom. Yeah, no, it's terrible. Like, metis births are terrible because rage fueled death machines.
Yeah.
But... in a lot of tribes, they are very looked down upon because, it is literally a sign that you broke the litany.
Yeah.
You can be like, hey, I think you broke the litany, and most people will be like, yeah, but did I, though? If you have a metis kid, it's just like, yeah, no, you fucking did. And so they are very much kind of frowned upon. There are certain tribes that look at them a little bit better than anyone else. The Children of Gaia are the tribe that is very much like, yeah, you broke the litany, but also the kid didn't have anything to do with it. So like, we're gonna take him and we're gonna make sure that he understands. Yeah, Children of Gaia still take them in though. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Children of Gaia look at that and it's like, it wasn't the kid's fault. It was your fucking fault. Why are you gonna blame the kid for something that they had nothing to do? We're gonna take them, and they're mine now, and we're gonna teach them the ways. Wendigo are very much like, they're all fucking warriors of Gaia. Why does it matter? Silverfangs are very... It's weird. So the Silverfangs are very weird in that aspect of, we're the best clan. I mean, we're the best tribe ever, and we can do no wrong. Also, fuck those metis. But also, we like to be purebred, so we have to do this thing. But also, fuck those metis. And you're just like, bruh, come on.
So like the Ventru.
They're very much like Ventrue werewolves. 100% they're Ventrue werewolves. Which is why B-Dave loves Silverfangs. I'm just going to point that out right now.
Oh no, I know.
He's even said it. Like, that's not even a joke. Yep. He's just like, no, Silverfang's best. I'm just like, but are they though?
Yeah, they do seem like yeah, like they're not. In fact,
they're not. In fact, they're absolutely not. They're the fucking worst. They're oh, it's terrible. They're not. They're all terrible. But like Silverfangs are just pompous. Anyway, but if you have a Metis, like a lot of Shadow Lords are hotter. You would say that, but also I've seen Joey, so yes. Metis are very much the kind of frowned upon aspect of Gaian society or Geru society, and they're always born with something wrong with them.
Yeah, they have deformities, right?
They have a deformity. Mitch has two. He has two. I took two for him. One was his antlers, and then the other was his Wendigo skull head. Chi-Chi's is her Wendigo skull head, who Chi-Chi, for all of you who don't know, but all of you do, Chi-Chi is Mitch's sister. She is tiny. She's like small. She's like 5 foot nothing. Even in Krynos, she's like 5'8", 6 foot. Like, she's tiny. All Metis have deformities. Now, it doesn't have to mean that they are physical. Thomas, hi. The deformities don't have to be physical. Khalid does not have a physical deformity. His deformity is he's fucking insane.
I mean, yes, that is fair, because that's
his Metis thing. Well, he has two. He's crazy, but then he also has it's not Patagonia, whatever. Shut up, phone. He has the bat ears when he's in Krynos. He has bat ears and he has like a bat face. Reverie has a spiritual deformity. You can see her Krynos form in her reflection rather than whatever form she's in. That's true.
That is a very cool deformity.
It's a really cool kind of way of doing it. When Mitch first met Reverie, they were sitting in front of a window, and Ash, the beautiful Ash, was just like, hey, make a awareness, and I rolled for it, and she was just like, yeah, you see her reflection in the glass, and it's her Krynos form. And then you see it somewhere else, and it's her Krynos form. Which is a really cool, like, spiritual deformity of, like, no matter where she goes, if she is seen in any kind of reflection, everyone will know what she is. It's beautiful. It has to stay away from mirrors.
Yeah.
Mitch's deformities are, he's fucking huge, and he looks like a Wendigo. His eyes kind of glow fire, which he has to, in Hamid form, he has to like think very hard at all times to make sure that his eyes do not look like campfire flames. Because that's a whole ass thing that you don't want to just be walking around and people are like, why is that dude's eyes blue fire? Don't worry about it.
Those are some pretty damn cool contacts you got, bro.
Yeah, exactly. He's in LA, so it could probably work out.
Yeah, I was like, in LA, I mean, if anywhere, it's going to be...
anywhere.
LA or like Times Square, I guess. Those are the two places.
I think LA is a little bit better for it. And like knowing people from LA now who kind of work in that industry where they're just like, no, I've walked through like LA in full crazy makeup and people are just like, cool, whatever, because it's LA.
Oh, came from a movie set. Big deal.
Yeah, it's all a movie. It's all a movie. But yeah, no, those are the three kind of breeds that, you have to run off of. And each of them, the breed, the auspice, and the tribe all get different, what is called gifts. So vampires have disciplines. That's, the power of their blood and part of their clan and their antediluvian that's kind of filtered down. And Cain himself, that's filtered down. Yes, Cain himself, fuck everything else. Lilith, no.
Book of Nod.
A Book of Nod all the way.
Only book that counts. And that one I do know where it is, but we're in the middle of something.
Right. We're in the middle of something. We're talking about werewolves, and we're like, Book of Nod.
Yeah, because for werewolves, all vampires are bad. Like there's no, like you can have, I guess like a friendship, or in Paisley's case, something a little bit more physical.
Very sneaky.
Very sneaky. But generally speaking, if you're a werewolf and you see a vampire, your instinct is basically,
So that age-old war,
it's called love.
It's called love. The age-old, war between vampires and werewolves kind of hold over in the World of Darkness. The reason behind it is that werewolves are very much part of a cycle. You calling Maeve wrong? I mean, Thomas might. Jax literally can't call her wrong. He's 6-point bonded. He literally can't. But anyway.
I've called her wrong so many times.
So many times. So many times. Yeah, but you got killed for it.
That's
so,
very true. That's really true.
You got like...
I mean,
because of it.
Worth
it. Kindred are dead. They go against the cycle that the werewolves kind of adhere to. They are spiritual beings, right? And Gaia, the moon, Luna, Helios, they're all Celestine spirits. They are all the physical embodiment of this spirit. Gaia is a Celestine spirit. It is a physical embodiment of the earth itself. But how that all fits together is the triad. The triad is, the worm, weaver, and the other one who I can't remember at the moment, and I'm a terrible fucking person.
Oh no, let's see who gets it first. You or chat. And that's why we have
the wild.
The wild.
The wild. So it's the wild, the weaver, and the worm. The wild is the creator. It creates everything, and it's kind of chaotic. It just builds things. It just creates, and whatever it creates is what it is. Hence why it's called wild. It is wild.
Yeah.
When it's created by the wild, it, before any of fuck shit happened, goes to the weaver, and the weaver weaves it into a purpose. It turns it into this wild, chaotic thing, and then makes it into... If you really wanted to be awful and disrupt the cycle, you could somehow manage to successfully embrace a Garu, making them a servant to the worm without making them black spiral worm, or even wild primordial instead. Yeah, with quintessence being balanced. You could, yes. But also, that's why mages are the worst. But also...
Yes.
Anyway.
But also the worst.
Also the worst, but also, yes.
The worst.
And I would like to rage. So the wild creates it, and it is chaotic and formless and nameless, and it just is. Gets passed off to the weaver. The weaver weaves it into purpose and into doing what it needs to do, and throws it out into the universe, and it does its thing. And before all the fuck shit happened, the worm would, at the end of that cycle, take it, break it down into its components, send it back to the wild to be reformed into something else. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky.
Here's where it gets a little tricky.
Here's where it gets a little tricky. And most, if not all, Garu are very much like, fuck the worm. Fuck the worm and everything that has to do with it. The worm is terrible. The worm is the worst. Needs to be destroyed. I get it. because of what happened. But also, hashtag the worm did nothing wrong.
I mean, you said it, so I think you're wrong, probably.
Hashtag the worm did nothing wrong. So what happened is the worm was doing its job. Yes, and this is where he defends the worm. I will defend the worm. I will. I'm getting to it. The worm had a purpose, and its purpose was to destroy things, to put them back into the natural cycle of life. You know, everything dies. Everything has to die. Everything ends. Without it, fucking vampires. Look what happens, right? Then it gets back into the wild. The wild takes all of that component parts because you can neither destroy nor create matter. You take that matter, you change it, gets back to the weaver. Weaver redoes it. Worm takes it back. I'm getting into the weaver. I'm getting into it. The weaver is a fucking no. Fuck the weaver. Absolutely fuck the weaver. And this is why. The weaver got massively pissed off. And these are all spirits, by the way. These are all like very big Incarna spirits called the Triad. The weaver got super fucking pissed off that the worm was destroying its creations. Hated it. Was really pissed that like they were creating all of this majestic fucking thing only to turn it over to the to the worm and have everything destroyed. So, what does the weaver do? It binds the worm to the point where it cannot do its job. And the worm goes fucking insane. It snaps.
Yeah.
Because it can't do its job. It is a spirit, and most spirits, especially in Karna, have a specific job to do, and if they don't have that specific job, a lot of shit happens. Which I know a lot of people here are just like, hey, because I know someone has asked this. It's just like, hey, what if you take a very big spirit, especially as a mage, and forge it into something else? This is the shit that happens. It's why you shouldn't do it. Because they go fucking crazy because they can't do their job. And when they do eventually get out, they'll kill everything. So, Weaver took the worm, wrapped it up, and put it away. Just threw it away. Wild did its thing. Weaver created it. Everything kind of just happened still. Worm went crazy, finally broke out of the prison, and was just like, well, this is an overabundance of shit. You know what needs to happen? Everything dies. Literally everything. The entire world, the entire universe, it all dies. We start over, we do it again. All of this is too much. It has to end.
And maybe this time you let me do my job.
Right? Now, the worm as it is right now, as the creature of what it is, should not exist. Because, yes, at the end of the day, it wants to kill everything. It wants to torment and corrupt and kind of switch everything into its own way of thinking, which is bad. It's utterly terrible. But if you get rid of the worm as a whole, you're kind of back to where you started, where nothing dies, everything is either wild and chaotic, and the cycle doesn't continue. Which is where, like, Mitch's whole thing, and he's never talked about it, even in the 8 months that he's been in LA, he's never talked about it. He's very much that kind of person that's just like, yes, the worm is evil in its incarnation. No, we shouldn't. We should get rid of it, but we can't destroy it, because if we destroy it, it's going to make everything worse.
Yeah. So basically, the only thing you can do is convince it that it just needs to be what it is supposed to be.
Yes.
And not, destroy everything.
Yep.
Like, yes, Weaver was bad, but hear me out. Maybe don't destroy the entire universe.
Yeah, and like, personally, like, I love the story of the Triad. Like, that's a beautiful story because if you think about it, a creature that is only built to take wild things and create them into something beautiful only to watch them destroyed after a few hundred millennia would be like, you know what? No, fuck this. I'm done. I'm done with this. Fuck everything. No, I want my gifts and my creations to survive. I want them to live on forever.
Yeah.
Not understanding that, like, if they aren't destroyed, then sooner or later it's going to get too much. Cain caused half the problems of World of Darkness, Garou caused the other half, and then mages caused the third half. Man, that's a mood. That's a mood.
It's very true.
If I'm being 100 and completely honest, in the lore of World of Darkness, Cain kind of did cause most of the problems because he invented murder. And even the Fallen didn't have murder at that point, so like their whole war fucking happened.
You know, he invented
nothing came of it.
Justice.
Nothing came. He did invent justice. Like Cain invented murder, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, to the point where, like, even the angels, as they were going through their massive civil war, was just like, this is a never-ending war because, like, we can't kill each other because that's not a thing. And then Cain was just like, bet. And all the angels went, whoa, wait, hold on, wait a minute, wait. You mean we can kill each other now? Oh, it's fucking on.
Sweet. Okay, so what we have is basically these three entities are they like the true creators? Because then when you have I know that it gets messy because you have the vampire side of it where because of the way we have the Bible, then Cain killed his brother, all that fuck shit. But that points to a god. Then the werewolves have these three spiritual forces. Who the fuck knows what the mages have? Like probably like an elder brain somewhere.
Probably.
and I mean changelings.
Well, changelings have like the true fae, but that's a different story.
Oh. Someday we'll have a game about those as well.
Oh, it's gonna be great. Hopefully it's more the Lost than the Dreaming. I'm sorry for everyone who loves the Dreaming. The Lost is a better system. Fight me. The Triad, which is the Wild, the Weaver, and the Worm, are like the greatest entities of their like hierarchy. They're the, like Soren said, the primal forces of creation and destruction. Are they like the deities? No, they are Incarna, which is like a step below Celestines. Celestines are like the fucking representation of a thing. So Luna is a Celestine, which is the representation of the moon itself. Helios is a Celestine, who is the physical and spiritual representation of the sun itself. If you go into the Umbra and you go into their own dedicated domain, which if you go to like Helios's domain, you gotta fly because you can't step foot in it because you'll burn up because it's all fucking fire. It's beautiful. And somehow, some way, destroy Helios in the Umbra, you'll destroy the sun. Because it is the spirit of the sun itself.
Okay, so does that mean that sun will never burn out? And if in theory it did, it would be because someone entered and destroyed Helios?
Technically, yeah.
Well, I mean, see, that's comforting on like a human level, I feel like.
It's comforting on a human level, yeah.
All right. So, we've been talking about this for about an hour and a half now.
That's fair. Yeah.
Think we should maybe take a look at the game.
Yeah, let's take a look at this game, see what it is, because I know that the other Werewolf the Apocalypse game that's coming out looks
the big
dope.
one, the big AAA one.
That's gonna be really.
Is it AAA?
Well, is it AAA? I don't know if it's AAA. But that one I love because, I mean, you get to play Lupus, Arun, Fianna, which is going to be great.
Oh, see, I did not know that. Now, in this one, this Heart of the Forest, now let me do a quick, I'll move around here, just so we can show this is made by Different Tales. or is it released by Different Tales? I'll be honest. I'll have to. I know I wrote about it on the Discord because there is obviously a developer and a publisher. There we go. Let's get him down here.
The developer is Different Tales, and the publisher is Walkabout.
That's the way it worked. Lovely gentleman named Piotr allowed me to show you a little bit of this game. So what I'll do is I'll start. Whoa, that means I'll have to go out here. That also means I can't watch the chat because of how this is set up. I need a third screen. I'm sure you will tell me if anything important comes up. Okay, so we'll start a new game. Yes, it'll be deleted. What we'll do is, I figured out by running through it that taking like the tutorial intro and then the first place we can visit is about 10 minutes, might be 10 and a half, 11. If so, I apologize because there is like a limit of like doing 10 minutes at a time. We can take as long as we want to go through those 10 minutes. But it is, of course, to not ruin the demo for anyone watching who wants to play it themselves. I've run through it a couple times, and I found some things I really like. Now, I personally enjoy visual novels. It's not games that I play all the time, but it is, in terms of presenting a story without filling it with action. Shy of going straight to a book, I think this is a great way to do it. And I think a lot of people who don't have patience for books might do better with stuff like this. Because it has effects, like, and then you'll see that, well, you won't see in this particular, well, I guess you could if we start over. No matter. What I mean is, from going through it a couple times, there are very visible changes very early on, depending on what you choose, and that is impressive, I feel like. So, since we have Kyle here, let's see, we'll go with great. I'm always angry.
Man, going for that Arun quick, fast, and in a hurry. Let's go. So you're the inspired warrior type. I'm not gonna go ahead and read through everything. I'll just more talk about the things we're going here. Yeah, we have a story to tell because that's what we all enjoy. So we'll see things pop up here somewhere. We will look at the character sheet, which is up here. As you see right now, we are in Krynos form. But we'll be prompted to go into that, and I'll save it for then. Okay, so we got some flickering stuff around. We hunt, let's say. That gives us a little bit more here. Bravery, inspiring, analytical. This is basically us going towards the kind of character we'll be. The first thing I did was the very analytical route, and it gives us various things that we can do. Like high rage will afford us certain responses. Low willpower, no willpower will take away opportunities other places. And where we start out is in this dreamscape. I am particularly also a very big fan of the artwork in this game. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so now we have, and this is where we have this representation of decay, which I take it is a representation of the worm. Probably, right? Yeah, probably. Confused, I open up my eyes. The forest around me is thick and dark reeks of decay. Yeah, no, that's very much a worm thing. Especially if this is like a premonition. Mm-hmm. You're probably like in the Umbra at this point. And you're seeing the destruction of Gaia through the worm. And this is what you're fighting against. Yeah. Yeah, because you have everything, like the way it's described with this ghoulish, sickly green light. Dark sponge-like mushrooms cling to the fallen trees. It is very... every description in this game is super dramatic in like a very World of Darkness way, I feel like. It's like... like reading through this reminds me of reading through a lot of scenes on the server, in fact. It has that very dramatic, like, we all enjoy being. I love it. Let's see. I shout at the forest. I don't think I've done that before. And that made us braver. Let's see.
And as you see soon, we'll be once we get past the tutorial, we'll be going into a forest, and that forest will have a response to us as well. Now, when we see this, it'll cost us willpower to do it. So I want to go down the low willpower route, just to show that it takes away things that we can do later. There we go. See, some choices are hard to make and they strain your willpower. It's all something we can relate to, I feel like, because even in like Vampire, we know that we have to balance our willpower, because if we don't, then we might end up getting fucked big time. See, let's go with the enemy. They reek of metal and acid and oil and money. Again, stuff that I feel like I've heard mentioned in some of Dave's World of Darkness games, right?
Yeah, they reek of metal and acid, oil and money. Massive creatures, some with mandibles, some with spidery legs. Their faceted eyes burn like small industrial furnaces. Sounds to me like a worm creature.
Yeah. So we'll go rage. Boosts more brave and inspiring. Yeah. Throw the head in the direction of the shining eyes and launch myself into the air. See, and this basically we're attacking, and this is like straight up. What's it called? Like adrenaline. It's primal. It's, you know, we're kind of out of control from who we actually are. Now that we get into the chapter 1. Here we'll be presented with who we play in this game. And soon we will see our character sheet. We play Maya. And Maya is an American student of Polish descent who has returned to Poland, to the area her family comes from, to figure out a little bit more about who she is. And see, here we can go to routes. Now, I know what happens with either route. So I'll let you decide. We wake up from this this feeling of nightmare, and this girl next to you is touching your shoulder. What do we do here?
I'm gonna let the chat decide. See what they say.
Hell yeah, give it to chat.
Yeah, I'll give it a chat. You just woke up. This whole dream thing's happened. You've already, like, you know. What do you do? Caroline would be the only one so far to be like, push her away, fuck there.
So everyone is into like what happened?
What happened, yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. Sorry, Caroline. I can tell you though that there will be an open beta demo coming out at some point fairly soon, if I remember right. I can look it up, get the details out afterwards, and you'll all get a chance to play it. Okay, so there we go. Let's see the blinking thing about it. See, this is all like these little choices basically decide how our friend here is going to respond to us. So I'll stick with, I was glad I wasn't alone. This is Anya. She's a Norwegian girl, tall, broad-shouldered, calm person, very Norwegian. And then we have this. Because Anya is now sympathetic, we can do the she seems excited thing. I've gone through another where I did where I jumped on her basically, and that did not make her sympathetic. So that turns, it becomes very different. And now that we have no willpower, we'll very soon see that we will be affected by it as well. Triples mine, yeah. You know, there's also like, since we have full rage now, we're also not seeing a bunch of responses. Because if you have lower rage or medium rage, you have a different road through everything. And this branches out very quickly. Like, we've already done like, I think 2-3 responses that like heavily branches us. And this is like the very beginning of the game. Let's see. See, now we can't tell her everything. So we can't be open about everything. So let's see, let's tell her as much as we can. Family, it's complicated. Don't we all know that feeling?
I love Megan's response. Wait, so she's just furious on a bus right now? Been there.
Have you ever been on a long bus ride where you're not furious?
Where I'm not furious?
Yeah.
No.
I used to take the bus to school, and that was like a 20-minute ride, and I was about to fucking die after 2.
God.
Okay, so now Anna will join us.
Hey.
If had we gone the other route, Anya basically steps off the bus and just gets the fuck out. Like, fuck you, bitch. Okay, so this is a big one. So in this game, we recognize this from Vampire. You might be able to tell me if there's a werewolf similarity. In Vampire, when you spend your willpower, this we can kind of think of as like damaging willpower. What's it called?
Like superficial and aggravated damage?
Yeah, this is sort of like aggravated damage to willpower. What we do now. So now we're down to 0 willpower. Now we pick what it is we want to learn about. And we grow willpower back by going closer to our goal. So kind of like in Vampire you have your desires and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So let's say we want to face the forest. That's always a good one.
Yeah, let's face the forest. I mean, you know.
So then we get our goal is to learn about the forest, and through that we will regrow our willpower. So your willpower drops to 0. When you lose all your health or willpower, you become impaired. This will make physical tasks if you have 0 health, or social and mental tasks if you have 0 willpower, hard and sometimes impossible. That is to say, they are taken away in some cases, and in other cases, I guess something is harder. I don't think I've bumped into one of those yet. Okay. So basically, here we have a little cat. And this is another one of those things, I imagine, where it'll give us something. Now, I've done this one last. I tried to pet it. Let's watch it with suspicion. Oh, I was actually expecting something to pop up there.
I did too, actually.
I was like, because I know which things there are, so I was like, probably analytical or something. See, now there we missed out on something we could have done, yeah.
Yeah.
So here we have a high rage. We can storm off, or we can wait for the meeting. Let's fucking go with rage, man. Let's have low willpower, high rage.
Low willpower, high rage.
I mean,
be like, fuck this cat.
Yeah, let's be me in my teenage years. Why not? Yeah, and it follows. But okay, it didn't seem to affect her necessarily. Okay, and that's where we stay. Now we have our little home here. I mean, just look at this shit. Like this is, if this was a comic book, I would be so into it as well.
It looks so good. Like, I love this art style.
Yeah, it is real good. Okay, so now we can check our character sheet here. We have our character Maya Borodich, 24, student American. And then we start getting our stats down here. Now, having seen character sheets that we use, this does not look quite similar. Obviously, this is probably just to keep it contained, I guess. Because like an actual character sheet for a visual novel, a character sheet similar to what we use at least, might not be necessary, quite simply. But I like it. I like that you have something to advance in. I like that your advancing is based on the choices you do, the choices you make. And you have your relations you can keep an eye on, mind, body, stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do like, and even with the very like toned down kind of character sheet that you have, I can still look at this sheet and be like, all right, cool, I see brave as, honor, and I see spiritual as gnosis, and I see where they were going with it, because I don't think you could take, even though it is a werewolf game, right? I don't know if you could take some of the terminology that werewolf uses and put it in there and have people understand what it means.
Yeah.
So
this is a good way to translate it into something we all understand. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so let's see. The lay of the land. So basically we're going to have a map. Now, since this is a demo, we won't be seeing more than this and where we are going. We're going to the forest. And we'll do one of the 3 places we can choose out here. Because that will fit into the time. So now we're being presented with Daniel, who is our guide. The introduction we get is just this. We've met him because Anya finds him through the local guides, and then he we were talking. How do you like her? And since we don't know, we can only go with maybe I wasn't sure whom he meant. Yeah. Polish was a strange language that gave the most unexpected genders to objects and ideas. That's Pushcha. I hope I'm not slaughtering that. I know Piotr asked me to send the video after the stream, so if you are gonna see this, Piotr, I'm very sorry if I just butchered Polish. But Pushcha is the right word. Not forest. Okay. So there we go. So already here, I'm gonna go with Pushcha because that seems like the more respectful one. Brave. I felt as though I'd entered an ancient battleground. And these are the specific responses we'll get based on what we've grown. So I had another one I ran through where I was analytical, and she looked at it entirely differently. So this is like I played the Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York visual novel, which I found to be like it was a good story. It lacked in some aspects, mainly in replayability, I think. But I think here you already, from the little bit I've played, you have a vastly different outlook from her. Like it's still, in this case, we're still going through the same places, seeing the same things, but the character changes much more than I've seen in by far most of the visual novels I've played with. I don't think moved in the leaves. I loved what I saw. Right? Yeah, she likes it.
I like that.
And then Daniel becomes sympathetic. Whereas I've had another one. I think there's another response here that might make the forest sympathetic. Let's see. So now we can explain to him what we're interested in, or we can ask him about local legends. Now, we are here to face the forest. So let's go with explaining, I think. Yeah, I like that she feels this connection already. Yeah. And now because she's sympathetic, we get a little bonus. And here we go. Now we have a little bit more to go on the forest, so we progressed our goal, and thus we get 1 willpower back. And more things will open up. It's a lovely thing. Okay, so we have 3 places to go. Shall we let chat decide? We have the Barrows, Ancient Graves, Buried Secrets. So we have the Wolves' Den, Old Stories and Families Divided. And we have a Place of Power. Magic, Tourist Trap.
Ooh, that Place of Power seems really cool, actually. Ancient Graves, Buried Secrets, Old Stories. Well, chat's saying Ancient Graves, so let's go with Ancient Graves.
Ancient Graves, Barrows it is.
Also, I will be right back.
Sure thing. Okay. So now I hope you all understand that while his screen is gray, I have no idea what you're writing. Be kind. Alright, so yeah, we'll humor him here. Because he's nice, he's our guide, why wouldn't we be friendly? He just, he told us that our families might have been connected. Check out a small stone. Okay. So it's too small to be a weapon. Sure, it's just a stone. But let's go with something personal. Let's try to dig in a little bit more to who he is. So now we get inspiring. And yeah, he looked at the pebble as though it was still a treasure. So the game tracks your decision on how Maya approaches problem. They will accumulate and gradually reveal what kind of person she is deep in her heart. The story changes to reflect Maya's personality. That is very true. So yeah, he wants us to throw it. Let's humor him. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? And then, let's see. Now, he's working. It's just a stone. I was curious. It felt alive. I like that one because it's like, Kyle just told us how connected we are with nature. So let's go with that. I mean, and that is assuming that Maya here is in fact a werewolf, which I'm assuming based on what the game is. Now, since we have high rage, I imagine we'll be tossing it. Yep, as far as we could. Disappearing without a trace in the dense underground. I was asking for that. What? Wait, what? What? And there it goes. The forest becomes sympathetic to us. That's nice. And I imagine that is because of the connection, that it feels this connection we have with them, with the forest, because of our thing. Our thing being, of us being woofers. Let's see. Again, high rage giving us something. Now, if I'm clicking too fast and scrolling past readable stuff too fast, let Kyle know when he comes back so he can yell at me. There was always a path through the brambles. The ground was even and the branches stayed out of our way. I almost felt like the forest wanted us to find a way. Okay, so now it is... Are we more interested in figuring out Daniel than pushing on? Let's see. Wait, you know what I could do? While he's away, I could do this. And actually keep an eye on the chat from here. Instead of being a dum-dum boy. Let's see. Because then I can actually let... Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's see if it'll actually connect to chat. Okay, well, perfect. Yeah, I get the rules. Don't be a dick. Perfect. Yes, you are re-monitored. Meg. Shut up, Meg. No, don't. Okay, so what do you guys think? Do we want to push on Daniel or do we want to push on into the forest? Push on Daniel? What rude. Been nothing but angels. Okay, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna push on. Go deeper into the forest, yes. Okay, I'll hop with Deadpool on that. See, that pushes up our brave, which was not very smart. Oh boy! I came to my senses when I tripped and almost fell. Ooh, watch where I place my feet. I like that he stutters. That's I've always find a little bit of a stutter to be an almost charming little. What do they call it? Little thing. Okay, so now we can actually lower our rage. I will fight. I will not fight. What? I just enjoyed the moment. So now we can lower the rage a little bit, which means that we won't react in the same thing, in the same way. Now start cooking bacon in the woods. See, now we know where to go. So we still, this connection is, and also again, I mean, I could point this out every other second, but look at how fucking pretty this is. I mean, this right here is this is a tattoo waiting to happen, not gonna lie. Oh, I could remember. Yeah, the skull art is amazing. I mean, this is like this. I can't. This feels like when you're looking at it, it feels like it was painted on canvas, right? And then lifted off and placed in. You can see those little threads everywhere. So good. Oh, voices. Okay, so this could feel like, and this is something I'll need to ask Kyle about as well, because I noticed when I was building my werewolf boy last night that there's this whole ancestors thing. Yeah, it is just exactly. It's just pure mood, pure immersion. It's great, and the art and text. It's so well written too. So it's very good. It very much brings you in. But here it feels like we're going back, remembering something in our past, and that makes me think of the ancestors background that is in the thing that I believe Oystein, the player of Oystein, made it. I can't for the life of me recall his name. I wonder so the forest could live. Yeah, I think we can trust this guy. Yeah, ancestors, right? So like ancestors, if I understand right, is basically like they allow us to remember. Is it like past lives, or like ancestors' lives, or something like that? Our father's family is from here. Ooh, he knew something. Yeah, tell us, bro. If the Pusha calls, it's wise to listen. It's not wise to get lost in the voices. Okay. We want to know more about the forest. I accepted that thought. Hell yeah. Changeling, Fred Durst, Redcap, or Woofer? I mean, Deadpool, I think you know my answer is always going to be Chaos. So Fred Durst, Redcap. Easy. The walk back was uneventful. Okay, so this is where I'll have to stop showing off the game because of the restrictions that have come with the preview. But let me. Okay, wait. It means I need to switch back to not that one. But oh wait, this one. Okay, actually, let's do this instead. Wait, I'm actually missing. There might not be a. And is this one? Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's keep it here for a while. Wait, there. That looks a little bit better, right? Hell, we can even do the main menu because that's kind of really pretty. Okay. Yeah, later, Elm. Thank you for coming by. So I really thoroughly enjoyed this game so far. Like I've obviously seen the other two places, and if you all are interested, I might very well open up another stream maybe next weekend or some other day when we can make it work. Just to show off the other two places that we can go to. It just adds a little bit of story. I mean, the idea of the game has been shown, absolutely. But it's great. It's not super long right now. There are the last two places, and then you kind of have like a finishing little bit that ties a little bow on the intro. But it is it's great. It's great. I am really definitely looking forward to seeing where they take it. I'm very curious to see how broad the story can get, like how many branches they can do, because already it's quite a few. Like, just noticing, having gone through these places, I think we could have first of all not had Anya with us in the forest, and we could have made ourselves quite unpopular. We could have had a very different reaction to coming into that vision, and yeah, I mean, that's great. That's great. Let me, while we're waiting for, oh wait.
Well, I'm back, so.
Oh, you are back. Okay.
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to finish.
Oh, okay. Well, now you did run off briefly there, but what do you think from what you saw?
From what I saw, the art style itself is freaking incredible. The story itself, I know you were talking about that with Coteries of New York. There were a few instances where the replayability of it was kind of in question.
Yeah.
I actually think that maybe with the branching narrative that this seems to have, it is going to be a lot more replayable in the aspect of, the one thing that you can do will completely change everything else, which I kind of like. I like especially in these kinds of stories, you might do something that will undoubtedly make people mad at you, because again, as we were talking about, you're a creature of rage, and there are some times where you're just gonna be like, nah, fuck that guy, no matter what it is. I do like the fact that they are using a willpower and rage mechanic. I mean, that's Werewolf in a whole, but seeing that in a game that is not a AAA 3D platform, that like the other Werewolf the Apocalypse game that's coming out, that you're still using that mechanic, even in the way that they're using it, is going to be fantastic. And like Werewolf itself and a lot of World of Darkness, it is a thing that you have to be mindful of, which again, I really like, because that's World of Darkness. It is mindful of your rage and is mindful of your willpower and health as well. But those are your two main mechanics, or three main mechanics, as the kind of case may be. Overall, I can't wait for this. I'm going to wait. I can't wait for the beta to come out, because I want to try this now. And I don't know. I love the resurgence that Werewolf is having just as a whole.
Yeah, I agree. It is very, very, very. It's lovely to see World of Darkness coming out. I think now is a great time for it as well, because we have, over the past, let's say 3, 4, 5 years, we've had among especially younger people, resurgence as well of social justice is becoming a big thing again, and you have this weird equality among freaks. That sounds horrible whenever you use the word freaks, but equality among freaks in World of Darkness. And I think that suits our times very well, especially in the way that like B5 is played out as that is right now, where they took away some of the not so good stuff. Kuei Jin. And with us all knowing the team behind, who the team is behind Werewolf 5, I expect that to be at least equally so, if not more so, ingrained in that. So I'm looking through.
I agree with that. I am lucky enough to kind of know a minute amount of shit.
Yeah.
But I know that what they're doing with W5 is very much that whole, again, the 20th was kind of written in the time that it was. Okay, it's time to change that now, and it's time to move that up. The Technocracy book that just came out, Technocracy Reloaded, has a bunch of that in it, which surprised me. It shouldn't have surprised me, just because of, again, the team who is on it, and the world that we live in now. But like, you look at the Technocracy, especially in the old system, and you look at it and you're just like, oh, that was written in the 90s. My dog's going crazy again for some reason. I don't know why. I talk about the Technocracy, 2i down on the ground, federal agents. But like, you look at some of the Technocracy stuff and you're like, oh, that was written in the 90s and that was a whole another time. Then you look at the Reloaded book and it has an entire section on gender and what that means within the Technocracy. And it doesn't matter, it shouldn't matter what, race, creed, color, blah blah blah. They ingrain that into this whole system because of what they did previously. I think that's what they're going to do with Werewolf. I don't think the first tribes are going to be as 90s as they are. Like, I know the Wendigo are going to be a lot better. I know the Uktena are going to be a lot better. I know the Get Fenris are going to get rid of a lot of shit because, I mean, the Get are... It's very German, and I'll just leave it at that, in the 90s version.
See, that, I think back in the 90s there was this attempt to be edgy that often failed, even when they wanted to do it in a way that wasn't meant to be bad. Like, they wanted to try their best, but at some point a lot of things just went south. Probably not for the time, but for us now. Not wrong, edgy.
I think they looked at their system as a whole, right? And they were like, this is the world of darkness. It needs to be dark and edgy and 90s. And, they looked at all the terrible shit that humans have done in the past, 100,000 years, and put that into it, thinking that, all right, cool, it's edgy and it's weird, and like, people are going to hate this, but it's a good hate. And at the time, it worked. You can't lie and say that at the time it did not work, because it did.
Yeah.
Now, though, you are you're looking at it and you're like, okay, the world itself has changed, which it should. We have to change with it.
Yeah, I agree entirely. Okay, so I've looked up the. I got a little bit of information with it. About what we can expect. Let me just, since we are just hearing you now, let me close down this display capture there, because then I can open up. They got me some links that I will.
Ooh, nice.
Allow, open, and a bit of information written in here. So let's see. Okay. Okay, now those I will. Okay, I'll stick here with the description goes like this. Do you hear the roar? It races from within you. Thrown into an eternal struggle between nature and humanity, you will turn your rage into a weapon and uncover the secrets of your ancestry. Welcome to a narrative adventure game based on the legendary role-playing system Werewolf the Apocalypse. You play as Maya, a woman in her 20s from the United States who is searching for clues about her family in the last primeval forests of Central Europe. What she doesn't know is that she will find herself in the middle of a conflict between forces beyond her understanding. So obviously this goes into some more. Well, action might be the wrong term, but I think we're gonna see some real struggles, and for the game mechanics we've seen so far, it's obviously very little. We have rage, willpower, personality changes. The characters listed here are also just the demo characters. However, it says this, I think you'll appreciate. Early in the game, your personality will be shaped by your natural choices. Later on, you will have to choose your auspice and determine your true nature. So we've got some descriptions here. New moon. Child born on the new moon is destined to be a master of stealth, trickery, and guile. Such werewolves are known as questioners of the ways, and they are granted latitude to break or at least bend the rules of Garou society that other werewolves are not. A new moon werewolf is called a ragabash.
Hey, there it is.
Crescent moon. The one light of the crescent moon illuminates the spirits and the riddles they tell. Garou born under this moon are spiritualists, spirit masters, shamans, and mystics. Such Garou is called theurges.
Yeah.
Half moon. The werewolf born under the half moon is a judge and balancer. Caught between extremes, man and wolf, Garou and human, adaptation and tradition, spirit and flesh. Such Garou have to be able to make wise decisions on behalf of their fellows. Such a werewolf is called a...
Pilodux.
Exactly. Gibbous moon. The ample but not quite full, the light of the gibbous moon shines on the Garou, destined to be storytellers and lawkeepers. Such werewolves are renowned for their memories and their creativity. Among the people are called Galliards.
Hey, it's your boy.
It's your boy. I didn't tell you, but I will be. And then we have the full moon. Garou born under the full moon are spirit warriors, the deadliest and most vicious of their kind. A werewolf born under the full moon is called an Aroon.
Aroon. That's my boy.
That's your boy. So yes. I'm really interested in seeing where this goes. They ask a few questions here that they have had in mind. Where should our interference in nature end? Aren't we morally bound to interfere? How far would you go for a good cause? All very interesting themes to deal with, I feel like. And yeah. In fact, they are the 3 places we get to go to here. The Barrows, some of the stuff we hear about. I mean, the Barrows, there is talk about Kazan the Wolf. Some might be familiar with him. And the places of power are all taken from actual places and bits of lore from Poland and Central Europe. And it's just amazing. It is just amazing. Yeah. I'm very, like I said, I'm very much looking forward to this game. I think they're doing beautiful work. I think the art style is amazing. Yeah, I can't wait. I really can't. So, yeah, thank you, Kyle, for joining me and for teaching me a bunch. Hopefully teaching some of these lovely people a little something too. Thank you all for joining in, listening in, and watching Werewolf, the Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest. I hope you all liked it. With that, I'm gonna close down the stream, and I will go hunt for food myself. Probably not in Krynos form. I'm gonna stick with Hamid, or that other one with the defects. But I'll certainly do it. So yeah. Thank you. Yeah, special thank you to Lean for tossing me the link to that Twitter post they made. I definitely appreciate that. And a big thank you to Different Tales, to Piotr, for offering me the opportunity to do this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it was fun to kind of see this before it all happened. So, yeah. Now, anytime you want me, I am here. So
I could say so many things that would get this stream banned right now, but I won't.
That's why I said it that way. You know what I'm talking about.
You know. All right, man. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you to Kyle. Kyle, by the way, is there anything you have that you want to plug? That's the thing people ask, right?
That is the thing people ask. I mean, everyone here knows that I'm the mod of the server. B-Dave Walters has a Patreon server that is 24-hour World of Darkness. We actually have 2 now. We have LA and we have New York, which is kind of new in its, burgeoning phases, but it's still really fun. LA is in the server in the B-Dave universe is a massive conglomeration of all World of Darkness, so you get everything. New York is only Kindred, and it's very street level, low level stuff, which is kind of how we want to keep it. As for me personally, I'm actually going to probably be starting up streaming soon, and everyone here will know I'm mythic_rogue on pretty much everything. I'll drop a link in the chat to my own, and then when I start doing that, because we're all stuck at home and I need something to do, I'll let everybody know. But other than that, I want to thank you for asking me to do this, and this was fun, and I love doing it.
Perfect. I am glad to have had you here, and yes, drop that link. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see it pop up, and then I'm gonna wait a few just to let it slide in there, and then also click it so I can remember to follow.
Let's see.
As for the New York server, I have still not written my introductory scene for my character. I think you are the. I don't know if Caroline is still here, but I think no, she had to run.
Yeah, she had to run.
I think you are the only one here who actually knows anything about that character, and I'm so very much looking forward to.
I can't wait.
That follow.
I can't wait to see how you bring to it, because like New York is cool, boy. It's a whole thing. It's low level, it's street level, it's back to kind of like basics.
Yeah.
But already like 3 weeks in or whatever, man, it is a time.
I can imagine. Well, thank you all for coming. Thank you for the help, Kyle. Thank you, Piotr, again for the game.
Yeah.
It's been lovely.
Bye, guys.
Peace, y'all.